They say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, so LEGO should be feeling pretty good about themselves these days, considering that there's certainly no shortage of LEGO knockoffs, copycats, and cheap imitation sets out there. Let's explore the most egregious and hilarious fake LEGO sets on the market, from creepy ninja clowns to despicable men sets. Let's dig in. Check out this box and try to spot what's wrong. It correctly says Ultimate Collector Series, but wait, what's that logo? Sfar Wars? I've never heard of Sfar Wars before, and take a close look at that logo on the bottom right. That doesn't say Disney either. It looks more like Disney to me without the lower two lines on the E. Oh, and if you read closely, you'll notice that this is not an X-Wing Starfighter. Nope, it's an X-Wing Starfire. That second T is actually an I. Next up, take a look at this official LEGO set, the Mandalorian's N1 Starfighter. This is a real set that was released in 2022. Well, now take a look at this. Notice anything off? While it's the same exact image, set design, and piece count, there's no LEGO logo on it, and there's also another weird name. Everyone must love Starzone. What a great franchise. And it seems that Starzone is somewhat, well, popular probably isn't the right word, but they have made a lot of knockoff sets. Check out this fake set and compare it to the original. Once again, it's a nearly identical box with just a few minor changes to avoid any specific copyright infringement. This one though does have something else that I find pretty funny. If you look carefully at the original packaging, you'll see the 20 years of LEGO Star Wars emblem on the right. The knockoff version has this too, but it reads 20 years of simulating a true style. Yeah, simulating official LEGO sets. This is quite funny, at least they're self-aware of their copycat nature. However, it seems that Starzone isn't the only parallel universe out there. We've also got Star Union with their version of the Razor Crest. Again, we've got the same box art, piece count, and everything except for one detail, the age. The original LEGO set is marketed for ages 10 and up, but the Star Union version is labeled as being for 14 and up. One thing that's particularly funny here is that despite dropping the LEGO and Star Wars logos, this package still prominently displays the Mandalorian logo at the bottom of the box without any fear of being sued. I've also found this set from the unforgettable Space Wars franchise. This set is clearly a ripoff of the second edition UCS Death Star, but this one seems to have changed up the packaging a little bit. While most of the changes are small, take a look at the top right corner of the knockoff Death Sphere and you'll find something funny. It seems to be shooting its lasers at another Death Sphere. Now this next knockoff is actually a 2-for-1 deal. The official UCS Ewok Village is an incredible set, and an expensive one selling for about $500 new in box. With a price tag that high though, it's not too shocking that people would be looking for a cheaper alternative. Well, if you're in the market for a counterfeit Ewok Village, you've got options surprisingly. First up, there's this version from the Star Winners line. This version is a little different from the other copies that we've seen because they also included a knockoff LEGO logo on the upper left. Your other choice is this lovely set from the unforgettable Galaxy of Heroes franchise, my favorite. So far, these sets have been just direct ripoffs of official LEGO builds, but as you'll see later in this video, we're only at the tip of the iceberg. This set is from the Star Wart line, which is just a crazy name. It includes a rebel pilot, probably named something like Pook Skywalker, and he's standing on a desert planet probably named Tatooine, while a A-Wing crashes in the background. There's also some text that reads, "Collect all 6 super spaceships." It seems that if you buy all of these fakes, you can combine them into something. Not to mention that this minifigure's face looks so odd. The proportions are way off, just like this LEGO Movie Wild style knockoff figure. Not only are her eyes way too close to each other, but she only has one eyebrow. For reference, this is what the figure is supposed to look like. Yeah. Now, while Star Wars might be LEGO's biggest and most ripped off theme, it's hardly the only one, because cheap knockoffs are big businesses, and it seems like no franchise is safe. Marvel has been a feather in LEGO's cap for quite some time now, so it's little wonder that other companies have tried to capitalize on this, albeit illegally. LEGO has a long and mostly poor track record with buildable figures. While there have been some exceptions, most of them have been met with lukewarm reception at best. Well, that didn't stop someone from making a whole series of these knockoffs. I couldn't find the packaging for these, so I can't give you too much information on them, but I feel like just looking at this compared to this, should tell you all you need to know about these things. Now, the Shield Helicarrier is an incredible and massive set that's well loved by fans of Marvel and LEGO alike. Well, no amount amount of fan love can save a set from the clutches of scammers, it seems. Case in point, this absolutely atrocious package. Unlike several other knockoffs, this one doesn't seem to be a direct copy of an existing set, but rather a scaled down version of the larger one. The original official helicarrier came with just under 3,000 pieces and 17 minifigures, whereas this knockoff version contains 778 pieces and 5 minifigures if you count the Hulk. Speaking of the Hulk, on the box he's wearing a suit with red highlights, but in this other image he's wearing a somewhat different suit. My favorite Marvel knockoff though has got to be this so-called Funny Gauntlets set. Once again, they've completely reused the original packaging without any trademarked logos. One funny thing worth mentioning here is the display plate piece. If you look closely, you'll see that it still says Nano Gauntlet. They didn't change that part. And what's more, the Infinity Saga logo is horribly off-center. What gives? Well, it seems that this piece is taken straight from LEGO. They just removed the LEGO logo to hopefully remove any chances of copyright infringement or getting sued. I know these are fakes, but wow, that's lazy. And the name brand copyright infringement just does not stop there at all. It seems like these companies have their sights set on even higher things than LEGO and aren't afraid to take on the mouse himself. Just look at this Mickey Mouse mech and you'll see what I mean. Although the original version of the Disney icon is in the public domain these days, this is still a crazy knockoff. I certainly can't remember a single cartoon where Mickey Mouse jumped inside a giant mech suit to fight crime, but that would be crazy. In fact, it's almost as crazy as this creepy McDonald's Ronald McDonald fake minifigure. In fact, there are quite a few knockoff figures of this guy. There's even this company called Pogo selling this figure and calling it the evil Ronald McDonald figure. If this crazy clown minifigure stood outside every McDonald's, no one would ever eat a Big Mac ever again. And to that point, I hope I never need to see this figure ever again. Now, although big brands like McDonald's, Star Wars, and Disney have massive appeal outside of LEGO, even LEGO's original themes aren't safe from copyright infringement. Ninjago is extremely successful, so it's little wonder that it too has been victim of a lot of copycat sets. The Ninjago Destiny's Bounty has been released many times over the years, and these sets have largely been pretty great. However, it seems that there's something nefarious lurking just off the coast. The Golden Bounty from the new Ninja Saga Block series. This unnamed ship from the new Ninja Saga Block series has 660 pieces, and if I'm being totally honest, isn't nearly as bad as some of these other knockoffs, at least from a design standpoint. But much like Marvel, Ninjago has a history of buildable mechs. Well, another company decided to take their own spin on things, and the results are not nearly as bad as you might think for a knockoff set. These Ninja Master mechs aren't completely terrible, and if I'm being honest, look kind of cool. Each one is about 125 parts and stands roughly 7 inches tall when placed on the included display stand. While these are very clearly not official Ninjago sets, I'm sure the quality of the bricks is also less than good, but at least they didn't just blatantly copy a build of an official set. However, there's another line of Ninjago knockoffs that are just truly terribly cursed. This series of minifigures is from the same manufacturer as the mechs I just talked about, but these are decidedly much worse. They seem to be able to transform from a ninja into some kind of spring-filled monster. I can't find any actual images of the final product, which is a worrying common trend with all of these knockoffs, but I feel like the box art speaks for itself. Honestly, it's hard to imagine how these things work. There's just no way that the springs are contained inside of the figure, so I guess you just get a box with a bunch of loose minifigure pieces and a handful of tiny springs that will certainly get lost within a week. Also, I'm like 99% sure that these weren't originally designed to be ninjas. I mean, just look at the printing on the torsos. These look more like clowns than ninja. It's just like they designed some clowns and then decided to put some Ninjago heads on top. Also, several of these have big red noses. Yup, watch out everyone, because the clown ninja are attacking Ninjago City. As terrifying as these are, they can't even hold a candle to the most cursed line of knockoffs that I've ever come across: Minions. At the height of their popularity, these little yellow guys were everywhere. Seriously, whether you like them or not, you just couldn't get away from them. Obviously, LEGO had to capitalize on the opportunity, and they did release several sets featuring these guys. And well, so did the copycats as well. And oh man, these things are terrible. Compared to some of the others I'll show you in a little bit, these are, well, pretty tame. These two are from the Minios line, and are about as bland and bare bones as you can possibly get. They don't seem to come with any interesting accessories either. And in the same vein, we got this entire series of fake Minion minifigures, each creepier than the last. But that's not all, because this Captain America crossover Minion is just plain confusing. Last time I checked, the Avengers aren't featured in Despicable Me 3 at all. Also, I just want to point out the labeling at the bottom of the package: Parent-Child Interactive toy has got to be one of the weirdest marketing phrases I've heard in a while. Luckily, there are a few knockoffs that are at least trying to make the toys look like the actual movies. The company that makes Despicable Men at least made an effort to get the shape and size right, regardless of their ridiculous name, as did these so-called children's dolls, which is also quite questionable. But there's something else not quite right about these boxes. Look at the logo for Despicable Me 3. Does it look familiar? Yeah, because it's in Minecraft font. I don't really know what they were going for here, but I guess 2 ripoffs in one is a good value? Who knows? However, the single most cursed LEGO knockoff that I could find has got to be this machine gun wielding minion. I don't know where he got a gun or why he has it, but the look of pure joy on his face is genuinely very concerning. But you see, there's something else even more concerning. According to YouTube, only 30% of you are subscribed, which is crazy, so click subscribe right now.